Hi and hugs, welcome, welcome. You are at Candy Cane Creates, and my name is Candace. I have a flip through for you today. Yeah, can you believe it? Miracles do happen. I finished my Ideals Magazine Spring Junk Journal, and I'm so excited to show you guys. Okay, um, this was made out of an Ideals magazine, so it's soft cover. I used the same width, maybe a little bit more uh, of cardboard to make the spine because I didn't want to make it too chunky to match the width of the cover. Here is the back, and the spine is 1.5. Yeah, that's what I thought. 1.5 inches and two signatures. I also made this really cool tassel that you can just pull right off if you want to use it. It has all kinds of. This is some chenille yarn, some laces, some Dollar Tree lace, some fabric, the same fabric that I used on the cover, some trim. I also made some dangles, which was almost kind of my first time, I think, of making some of these because I got a whole bunch of beads in a haul. I hauled recently. I haven't put it out. I think that'll be next week, a Thrifted Treasures video. And so I've never really worked with beads, so I did do some dangles. This is actually a game piece that I've hauled in a vintage game. Why are we tangled up here? Okay. Yeah, and that, oh, and there's also some feather yarn, I think it's called. So we have that. You can take this off. I didn't count the pages, guys. Uh, so that'll all be listed in the description box below this video because I'll do it when I'm done. And it'll also be listed in my Etsy listing for this journal. This journal will be for sale in my Etsy shop tonight. It is Sunday and it's 1 now. So I'm going to think I'm going to list it, let's see, at 6 o'clock, Sunday, April 2nd. Uh, and it'll be there tonight. So let's get started. This is the original cover. I didn't do anything to, I mean, come look at that. Look at them. I couldn't do anything. So the signatures are sewn into this cardboard and there's some washi tape and fabric. So there's many, many pages from the actual magazine in here. And oh, string. I just washi tape them together to sew them in. This is from an old children's music book. The air is warm, the sky is blue, your feet go skipping, the birds all sing. Okay, these are pieces from a junior Scrabble, a vintage junior Scrabble game that I took out. The sticker, this is actually a cutoff from a whole bag I hauled from a thrift store with a bunch of trim, and this is just the piece. So I sewed it in. This is a tuck from, I think this is a Smashbook postcard, a ruffle lace, but look, the Dollar Tree bunnies trim. And here is, I want to say this is a reproduction, but this says, babies, congratulations. Yeah, a reproduction of an antique postcard originally published in 1890. I just love the little baby in the carrot. This is just old form. I'm trying to think. Okay, from Trend, we make learning fun. Just something for you to write on. Another Ideals magazine page. Same here, same here. This is sewn in fabric flip. It's not a traditional flip. I just sewed it in. This is a doily. I pulled up the bottom to make it a little tuck. And this I didn't do one thing to. I actually thrifted this card. It's not, this is almost like onion skin paper. You can see it see through, but I thrifted it just like this. I didn't do anything. It's got a little yarn bow. So I put that in this little pocket. Here's a die cut. This Wildflowers of Indiana Roadsides. This is from a trip to, I want to say Shipshewana, Indiana. It's just one of those travel brochures. Tulip Field, Tulip Park. These are two children's book pages that I sewn on and made big pockets out of. This is the original Ideals magazine pages. Spring has come, oh spring has come. In this pocket, I turned one of my actual antiquing receipts into a journal card. So this is just some avocado dyed paper that I went ahead and glued on the back of this so you can write on both sides. It's from Harbert Antique Mall in Harbert, Michigan. I went there with, let's see, my husband. We went away for the weekend. Michigan's our favorite place. And I stopped at this little antique mall. I bought a photo and a Ludwig von Beethoven sonnet, a music book for $5. So I stuck that in there. This is just a coloring page. Lots and lots of writing space in this journal, but it's actually not on the pages because I really, really tried hard to keep what the Ideals magazine is and why we love it as part of the journal. I didn't want to glue things, paper on pages where you couldn't see it anymore. A lot of the things that I was drawn to about this actual magazine, I wanted in the journal. So I made sure to include lots of writing space in the things that you can take out of the journal, like this. You can have all the fun painting or coloring all the beautiful butterflies, but then you have all this beautiful writing space. Okay, I don't know if you've seen, I don't have it at hand, I hauled a vellum gift bag from a thrift store that was covered in tulips. So I pulled one of the tulips off and I glued this on this yellow, what are these called? Flashcards. And then I glued some more of this isn't avocado dyed. This is actually, I think, RIT dyed that I did a long time ago. I glued that so you can write all over that. And I just love the orange tulips on the Ideals magazine and on that. And on this side, in this pocket, I have included, I don't know if you remember, I hauled a beautiful Holland, big, huge book. And this was one of the pages that says Easter and tells you some things. And I also dyed some more of that paper, I glued some more of that paper on here so you can write. And then I did a little stitch all the way around. And there's actually some more in the end of the book, some more of that paper. This is Ideals, old vintage Ideals ordering form. Do you remember getting these all the time? I mean, I didn't get the Ideals in our house when I was growing up, but we got the Bradford Exchange, I want to say, cards all the time. Okay, moving on. Let's see, I'm covering up my flowers. More Ideals page. This is a page out of a children's book. It says May. Welcome be thou, fairy fresh May by Jeffrey Carser, I think. And then this is another thing that I just did in my last journal. I did a chicken journal. And what I did was take some of that fabric ribbon that's real starchy, and I kind of did um, I gave it a name in that journal, and now I can't remember, a flip-floppy ribbon. And I just stapled it on, and I loved it. I loved it so much, so I did it in this one too. And then I didn't like that the staples were sticking out, so I went ahead and covered that with some yellow seam binding and then some more yellow lace. And I love how it hangs off the edges. So it's fun. It kind of brings you back over to this beautiful page, which is actually wallpaper and it's embossed. So you can kind of get the texture of each one of these gorgeous little circles. Some birds and a bouquet and another bouquet and some bells. But I mean, you could not make this journal and not include this because it has all of the spring colors. And I just did it. It was too big. And look, it's even funky cut because that's how I got it. And I love that about junk journaling, that I found this piece that somebody cut a piece off and wrapped something with and left this funny cut. but I'm not throwing it away, and I'm not doing anything to it. It's gorgeous, just the way it is. But look at all this beautiful writing space, and you can really, really see, probably not here, the gorgeous embossing. Okay, moving on, we have some, looks like hydrangeas, but I didn't know those. I don't know what that is. No, not lilac. Oh, wait, right there. Hyacinthus. 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 I'm gonna go with that. Okay, so Ideals Magazine page, this beautiful paper. Now, I ordered this from Marnell and Mimi's Keepsakes, her shop on Etsy. And she also has a YouTube channel, which I will link down in the description box. And from there, you can find her Etsy store, or I might just link that as well. But I bought this gorgeous dyed paper, this green paper, from her. Some more wrapping paper, little bunnies, and another thing is I found it just that's a string from being tied in. I found it just like this. It actually just fit perfectly, so I didn't do a thing to it. I didn't do one thing. I left it just like that. You can write until your heart is content. The other side of her beautiful paper, this is a gorgeous kids book page that I glued it onto this Ideals Magazine page because there was really nothing on it, and it didn't pertain to anything with this journal, so I was okay with that. But I needed the other side, and I needed something to put it on because I needed this beautiful page. It says "For the Children Flowers," and it's got a beautiful poem. I just glued on a little. It's not a tuck. It was just purely for something to, a tab. It says a note with a little flower, a ticket, and I hauled these little tags one time, and I didn't do anything to it. I just glued it right into the book, and this is some more of that chenille yarn. This is the other half of that wallpaper, the other half of the children's book page, and I just hauled these. These are really cute. It says Chick, really cute playing cards for game. The other side of that page is "You Busy Bees." Look at her. And I love how flat this lays. I made this ruffle. It's the same fabric as the spine. Spring Rain, 2 more Ideals pages, which I did do nothing to because I just loved the vintage feel of them. More Ideals. The other side of that, flowers travel brochure. Beautiful poems. This one's from William Shakespeare. Sorry about the band-aid. I literally just gouged out my finger while I was getting out a mic because I'm trying out a new mic. uh, the quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. William Shakespeare. There's a whole bunch more of those beautiful poems. Okay, here's the other half of that doily that I just folded up, and I just put it's a little tuck. It's just folded up. It's not sewn or anything. And I put in, these don't go together, but I just loved that how the green brought the green out of this. This is just an empty envelope that you could put your goodies in. This is an invitation with, again, more writing space. I just tuck that in for you to do whatever you want with that. Here's the other side of that fabric. More Ideals. This is a playing card that I chose to use as a little tab to open more of that dyed paper that I made years ago. I can't even believe I'm finally using it. This is the back of a big pad. I've hauled it in one of my hauls. A big pad of paper, State of Indiana, work papers, Department of Revenue, type tags, name of taxpayer, ID number, and so on and so on. So you have all this writing space. You have all this writing space. See, and this is why I put this here, so I didn't feel like I was taking away any writing space from you. So you got all this, then this flips open. This is just an envelope. I made a little cluster here. I cut out an old greeting card with my circle punch because I hauled it and it was already cut up and there was just one little corner. So this is what I did with it. With some lace and some paper, and then inside, okay, inside is more of that dyed paper, but I chose to put in a little border and a little of that fabric ribbon that I have, and I just shove that in there. I put it upside down because even though I really, really took the time to glue all these little pieces down, I don't want it to get caught on anything else I put in the envelope, so I do put it in upside down. That's just a little thing for me to know that, like, I don't want them to pull out something, look at it, put it back, and then rip it. Uh, Here's an old game piece, not vintage, but it's just something, it was a big game they played outside, and I chose this flower with a little bug on it, some more of that blue paper. That was an end paper that I took out of a book, and I chose to use a lot of it in here because it was so beautiful. The other side to that children's music paper, springtime. It says this is just a little tuck. This is a tuck, and this is just a game, a journal card that I made. I had this already. I hauled it just like this shape. This I hauled, and the only reason I put something on it is to cover. Somebody wrote something on the top of this library card. This is the wooden butterfly button that I just hauled, some lace, pink lace. And I put that in that tuck, and I didn't put nothing in that tuck. I wanted to leave a little bit. It was so hard though to leave open spots, but it's just a ruffle that it's glued, it's not sewed. The other ideals page, another ideals page. This paper I actually hauled a long time ago. It's pink and green, very fitting, and I just glued it as like a huge tab, I guess you could say, onto this grass. It's grass scrap paper, and I put a tuck onto it. And in that, this is Easter sticker, border sticker. I said creamy fruit salad just because of the colors. It looks, well, it looks delicious for one, but I just love the colors, the green and the pink. Creamy fruit salad, a can of fruit cocktail, 2 bananas, 1 unpared apple. Unpared. Does anyone know what unpared is? Maybe you can let me know in the description box. Am I just reading it wrong? A cup of seedless grapes, 5 Marciano cherries, half, miniature marshmallows, and Cool Whip. I think we still all make something like that today, don't we? This is just some board game money that you can write on the back. Another side of the Ideals magazine. Oh, we're in our, are we in our, yes, we're in our second signature. I painted the board that I used to sew in the signatures, and then I just put some washi over it. Uh, Not to hide the pink, because I love the pink. I just wanted to knock it down a little bit. And with this washi that I have is kind of see-through, and it was perfect. It did exactly what I needed it to do. Okay, more ideals page. This is some handmade paper, very see-through. This is from a huge, huge book, another book that I had stashed away that I never thought I would use because how often do you make this size journal? So I finally got to. I sewed a ribbon of trim on one side, and then I sewed it up as a pocket. I pulled it up because it was a little too long, and instead of cutting off, a quarter of an inch, I just folded it up. And I love that it's not the same size as the other pages. And in that pocket, I stuck some simple stationery that I've hauled before. I didn't do anything to it. You could still use it as stationery. You can write on it. You can do whatever you want with it. Another thing, I hauled this I hauled a whole bag of these that someone had made, and I just put a little ribbon on it, and you can open it and journal away in there. And this is just a simple, I just love the pink and the blues receipt. More ideals page. Look, tickle pink. uh, this is some vintage music paper. And on this side, it said a sad story. Nobody wants that. So I put, these are from Dollar Tree. And if you can't find them, go look for them because they're really out now. I've seen them at almost every Dollar Tree. They just have a little poof to them. A little epic, I guess you would call that. And more of Marnell's beautiful dyed papers. I bought a green pack and a pink pack. Look how gorgeous. So I thought that was fitting with the tickle pink, and it's all pink. And I put on a little, this is more of that starchy fabric ruffle ribbon, and I sewed it on, turned it as a ruffle. More ideals, more ideals. This is some of Marnell's blue dyed papers. I think I got this in a winnings on one of her giveaways on her channel. Again, go check out her stuff. It'll all be information will be down below in my description box of this video. We're getting there, guys. Can you believe I finally finished one? Oh, look at that sweet little boy. This page, okay, this page is mine, I want to say. Oh, I should have wrote it down. One of them was hers and one of them was mine. But I just glued it on, and you can just, on this same end papers that I took out of a book, and you can open it up and have all this writing space, all this writing space, all this writing space. It comes with a prayer poem. Here are two, if you could see, let me see if I can raise it up. These are ombre doilies. You see the different colors? It goes from pink to like a peach. So I couldn't help myself. I wanted you to see the different colors, and you really can in person. I don't know if you can in the video, but you have all this space. Another book page from that same book. Opening the garden. Look at her sweet face. Some Easter bunnies. Okay, here's two more pages from a, what's this? I think this was the same, yes, the same children's book. I made huge pockets, and in this one, I put the children's book page just because it looked like they were going to church on Easter. And here's the other side. I couldn't decide, so I chose both. And here's a beautiful, look at that, with the butterfly. Okay, so I couldn't decide, and I just put in both. And I made this with another one of those big flashcards. It's a belly band with some fabric. Oh, I have a whole bunch of stuff in here. I wanted to be tight in there. Okay, so we have just some graph paper, some more of that grass scrapbook paper, some more of the dyed pink paper, and some purple construction paper. That's all shoved into this little belly band, just ribbon belly band. And on the side, I used a 6x6 spring pad, and I made one of my first collages. I don't do collages a lot, uh, but I wanted to cover it up, the back, this time, just because I wanted to use all these little spring pages and rain. It says springtime flowers, sunshine, birds, rainbows, gardens, green grass blossoms, and rainy days. I am so ready. Which one? I think I want this one. Another ribbon, fabric ribbon ruffle. Easter Ideals magazine, the other side of that children's book page. They're around the maypole. Other side of the doilies. Now this pocket, I actually hauled, not the center, but I hauled it with all this sewing on it. This, I only put in the thumbnail, and I glued it to another one of these end papers that I love so much. and I put on some die cuts and a little mesh center. And in the pocket I have, pushing me on, a little stationery piece. Oh, okay. Um, and this, I hauled these cards. They're like have a little bit of paint flecks, I guess. And I just turned it into a little bucket with some washi. And you can write on all the pages. Try to see how many is here. 3? Yes, 3 pages. So I tucked that right into this little pocket. I put in one of these, I'm going to say vintage appliques that I hauled the other day. Look how cute, little bunny. Some more Ideals magazine page, another ruffle using the same fabric as the cover, some graph paper right on it. This is the other half of that dyed paper, which I believe is Marnell's. I made this. This was in that same 6x6 scrap paper pad, scrapbook paper pad. And I put a little brad, some more, the leftover piece of that cut off that I turned into a ruffle. And look at all the writing space. So I made that. This was a page out of a book that I just hauled recently. I think it was celebrities commenting on friendship. Gloria Vanderbilt says, friendship is a commitment, a trust. It consists of not letting the person down when they need you. It is rare and should be treasured. Isn't that the truth? And here is a vintage tally card for bridge, I believe. And here's one of my oldest things I've made when I started junkyarding years ago. Masking tape tag. It's got a stamp on it and some collage underneath. This is some sewing paper and then a little ribbon stapled on it. So I thought that was cute to finally use up, because, and it's a tuck if you want to put anything in it. I've had a big pile of them and I haven't used them in, I don't know why. I'm glad to use it now. Okay, the other side of this, I made a little tuck. These are little banners. They come in a set. I think it was like one of the Target dollar spots last Easter. Uh, they have the little sticky notes at the end, but I ended up gluing them all down. Um, and I thought they were cute. This I made a long time ago. It's just an index card with a little seam binding. Here's an invitation. I think these are at Dollar Tree still. A blank stationery, I guess. And another one of those picnic playing cards for Carrot. Here's just a glued ruffle of the yellow lace. We're getting there, guys. We're almost done. Family recipes, confetti potato salad, curried egg spread, egg salad spread. I don't know about that one. The other half of Mimi's Keepsakes, beautiful dyed paper. The other half of the songbook paper. This was just a fabric ribbon sticker. And I put the remainder of it right there. Festive main dish salad, cooked chicken, ham, cheese, chopped celery, macaroni, eggs. Well, look, full Easter eggs. More, obviously, of the Ideals magazine. And here's some more of that paper that I pulled out of that Holland book, the bulb field, tulips, flower pageant of the bulb for Holland. And I did more of my avocado dyed paper and just sewed around. So you can use that for journal cards. Here's and not a Not a vintage. Just a yellow, what do you call those? Oh, what is it? Index? Rolodex? Rolodex! Yay! Card. I hauled these the other day. They were in something, a book, I think. Oh, that's just a little flip up card, an antique. I don't, that's not a cigarette card. I'm not sure it's just like a little card. So this is the other half oh my gosh. Hmm. Okay. And this is just the other half of that page. I did another fabric ruffle for the homemade paper ideals. I did another gluing uh, child's book page onto the Ideals magazine because it was like a beach or something. And I put some more of that Easter sticker border. Now this is the scrapbook paper that's on the other side, but I wanted to include, I just don't want to pull anything up. Okay. I wanted to include this, but I just was not sure how. This is a vintage greeting card. Mother's Day endearments, Hallmark. I can't see, there's no year. But you could tell it's really old. Love always Jenny. 5/10/76. But I didn't want to glue it to the page. I maybe someone didn't want to keep it in there. Maybe they just wanted to take it out. So I went ahead and just stuck it in here with some paper clips. Now you can take it out, leave it in, whatever you like, or even take it out and journal behind it and then put it back. And on the other side, the very last page is one of those frames out of a photo album. It's like the frame and then another piece is glued to the back. Well, I took out the back carefully to just to reduce the bulk, and I put in just a book page of what I thought was a nice spring porch. And I glued some pink construction paper so you could write on it. I just thought that was really cute in the window. And the same thing on the end, uh, and the original back cover. Okay, so here it is, guys. Here's my Ideals magazine, my very first one, junk journal. Let's see. Let's put this back on. It goes on real easy. I think I got this idea for the paper clip from Natasha at Treasure Books. I wanted to just let you know real quick that I appreciate you guys so much. You supporting my shop and you supporting my passion is everything to me, and I couldn't do this without you. I mean, yes, I'd probably still be making journals and giving them out as gifts, just like I started in the beginning. And I would be enjoying that, but just to know that I'm surrounded by people who enjoy the same passion as I do, it's everything. And I can't thank you enough. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your Sunday. I hope you come back and hang out with me again for my next Junk Journal supply haul. And I hug you guys all. Hugs. Bye.